Alright, now it's recording section 1.5, solving absolute value equations and inequalities. Now this is a part 2 of a 2-parts lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. Today in class, I noticed that a lot of people are questioning why does absolute value equations have two sets of solutions? Okay, now I have an example of absolute value of x minus 5 equal to 2. Now we can just solve this. Normally, disregard the absolute value sign. X minus 5 is equal to 2, right? Solve for x, add 5 to both sides. Now if you feel like I'm going too fast at any point of this video, go ahead and pause and retract yourself. Now we have x equal to 7. If you plug in 7 into x, 7 minus 5 is 2. That's perfect. 7 is the solution. But what about x equals to 3? What happens if I plug in 3 into x? Let's see. 3 minus 5 is equal to, does it equal to 2? 3 minus 5 is absolute value of negative 2. Absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2. So we do have two solutions, x equal to 3 and x equal to 7, and that is why I mentioned the notion of good guy and bad guy, having one positive and one negative set of expressions. So we are again going to build on that idea today. Okay, so quickly I just want to do a quick example. So if I have the example here, absolute value of x plus 3 minus 7, let's make it 3 times the absolute value of x plus 3 minus 7 equals to 8. Now this is a brand new example, okay? Let me zoom in on that. Okay, so there it is. Now before you apply the good guy and bad guy rule, let me just remind you that you can only do that when the absolute value is on one side by itself. Right now, the absolute value of x plus 3 is being attached by the negative 7, and it's being attached by a factor of 3. So we need to get rid of these things, okay? So we need to get the x plus 3, the absolute value of x plus 3 on one side. And to do that, we know from algebra or solving equations, we add 7 on both sides, right? We're just moving things around on the equation. So add 7 on both sides, now you're left with 3 times the absolute value of x plus 3 equals to 15. Oh, this works perfectly. I just made this up actually. Now you divide both sides by 3 to get the absolute value sign alone. 3 goes into 15 5 times. So now you have absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 5. Now this is something we're familiar of, right, from part 1 of the video, right, that you watched in class. So now we can actually do the good guy and bad guy rule. Okay, now we have the good guy and the bad guy. Okay, now when we rewrite our absolute value, we are going to write it in with parentheses in place of the absolute value. So we have x plus 3 equal to 5. And here we have, well, the bad guy is pretty much rewriting the same expression, but I'll show you a difference. X plus 3 inside parentheses, but we have a negative out in the front, okay? So now we have two expressions set up. Now to solve for x on the left hand side, x plus 3 equals 5, we subtract 3. X equals to 2. Here, since the left side of the expression is being multiplied by negative 1, right? We want to get rid of the negative since we're trying to solve for x. So multiply both sides by negative 1. Okay, negative 1 times negative becomes positive. The negative goes away. So x plus 3 is equal to 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Subtract 3 on both sides. X is equal to negative 8. Okay. Now for the non-believer, let's go ahead and check our answer. 2 and negative 8. Okay, 2 and negative 8. I'm gonna do it on a separate sheet of paper. So I'm just gonna rewrite the answer here. X is equal to 2 and x is equal to -8. We're gonna plug in our answer and check if these two answers are actually the solutions to the inequality statement here. The original statement is 3 times the quantity of x plus 3, absolute value, minus 7 equals to 8. I'm going to plug in my first answer, x equal to 2. 3 times the absolute value of 2 plus 3, right, this is my value I substituted in, minus 7 equals to 8. Let's check if this works. 2 plus 3 is 5, times 3 minus 7. 3 times absolute value of 5, which is 15, minus 7, which equals to 8. This works. Perfect. So that's our first case. Now we check our second case. Absolute value, 3 times the absolute value of, well, we replace x now by a -8. -8 plus 3 minus 7 equals 2. Does it equal to 8? Let's check. 3 times absolute value of -8 plus 3 is -5 minus 7 equals to 8. Does that equal to 8? Check. Absolute value of 5 is just positive 5, right? So 3 times 5 minus 7. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 7 equals to 8. So both answers check in with the same equivalence on both sides, okay? So those two solutions are the solutions to the inequality statement. And you just do the same thing with the inequality equation. You solve it the same way. Get the absolute value sign on one side by itself, and then you can apply the good guy and bad guy rule. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in class. Bye.